You're the fucking prize, not them.
That's it.
They might have a vagina, great, smooth, silky walls, warm.
But you have
great.
an asshole. What is happening, RET family? We did a Instagram questionnaire and we asked what videos would you guys like to see next. One of the questions that we thought would bring you guys the most value was somebody asked, what do you think some of the most important advice either with women in business or in general life is that you can give? Me and Alex sat down, had a bit of a think about it, and we came up with why nice guys finish last. So you've got this like stereotypical image of this like really nice, like nerdy guy. Again, like I'm not painting nerds under some like fucking brush because I'm a massive nerd at heart, you know? Like I still wank off to Minecraft porn. But you get this classic like image of a fucking nerdy guy. He buys some girl flowers or sees like a pretty girl, sucks up to her, offers to take her on a date, offers to buy her drinks, blah, 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 does all these things with her, puts himself out of the way selflessly, and then gets absolutely fucking nothing in return. And then some like fuckboy, like Mr. Alex over here, comes and takes her away, and then he's left in a puddle crying his like little eyes out. Although we're using women for a lot of these examples, just because I feel it's a massive thing that can improve the lives of both guys and girls, this will apply to everything in general life. So point number one is value. Why nice guys finish last? So as I said at the start, you get this like you associate nice guys as someone that takes girls out for dinner, someone that would buy her gifts, blah, 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 shower her with all this like love and affection, but they don't normally get to the love and affection stage. And number one reason why this does not work is because of value. Everything in life is to do with value. Imagine a set of scales. So it's all about what you can get from another person and what you're giving to them. And as soon as you're this nice guy, as soon as you offer somebody a gift or offer someone something selflessly, there's a part of their brain where they're gonna think, hang on a minute, why is this person doing this? As soon as you start to give people things or start to be this like nice guy pushover, offering gifts selflessly, you're going to be putting yourself in this position where you're painting yourself into a frame where you have less value than the person that you're giving the gift to. So let's say, for example, I didn't know you. I thought you were really attractive. I wanted to get your number. I'd go and give you a monster, be like, oh hey, I've brought you this monster.
Cheers, mate.
Can I get your number? That's gonna be the trade-off.
That's the trade-off,
you know.
right?
And so instantly, Alex has more value from me. We got some case studies for you, boys and girls. I have some good friends with a lot of Instagram followers. So we're talking around 1 million Instagram followers. They're attractive, they are female. I've had sex with some of them. Yes, I'm very proud about that and I will take that to my grave. These girls that I'm friends with, I often speak to about guys just because they're like, oh my God, can you believe this dude is saying this? So it gives me a really good insight into how like a high value female mind works. I've got a friend, let's call her Tom. Tom met a handsome young man who was I think he was a lawyer or something. Good looking guy. Tom was kind of interested in him. This is gonna make it really confusing because I've called her Tom. Girl meets guy. Guy offers to take her out for dinner. Everything is good from the outset, you know, like he's attractive, he's got money, they go out for a meal, and then my friend, who we're calling her Tom, Tom goes home and then just completely ghosts him. Doesn't want anything to do with him, is just not attracted to him. It's like, I don't understand why, Mo, like he's attractive, I just literally get nothing from him. And that's all to do with this thing of value, you know. The moment he started buying things for her, the moment he started complimenting her, sucking up to her, is the moment that he suddenly put her up here and himself down here.
One of the first things is social status. As sad as it is, it does matter. I don't care if you're the best looking guy in the room, if you don't have much going for you in terms of goals, social status, career, people are quickly gonna clock onto that.
Social status is everything, man. If you're on your own somewhere and you don't have any social value or social status, you're probably going to appear like a weirdo, you know, and like the girl's brain or whoever you're speaking to, their brain's going to be like, why has this person got no one around them? Is there something wrong with them? Are they going to rape and murder me and chop me up into little pieces like Alex does after his Tinder dates? They won't know. So having social status, suddenly it makes them feel safe, it makes them feel comfortable, it makes you more valuable because you have these people that want to be around you, or you have these people around you. So, as Alex was saying, in terms of this overcoming this imbalance of value, this imbalance of power, how do you actually speak to someone? How do you approach someone then? Or how do you make it seem like you have more value or you're of like equal value to them?
One of the ways you can do this is try to give off that you have shit to do. You're not just some guy, some creep who's off to get one thing from a girl.
Do not compliment Do not invest compliments and do not invest money into this person.
There is a way to compliment, which we'll get into it later, but it's not like the fairy tales of you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. That's generally a big no-no when it comes to trying to give off a persona. Don't look desperate. And how do you give that off? You're busy, you're a guy who has shit to do. She's just another girl to you. You're the prize at the end of the day, not her. That's the mentality you have to go in with.
You need to think that no matter if you think I believe, me and Alex were talking about this the other day, I believe that no one is inherently ugly. You can be fat, like me, a little bit chubby, but you can lose the weight, you can dress nicely, you can get a nice haircut, you can look after yourself, unless you have some like horrible fucking malformed face, which even if you did, you can just make a joke about. I honestly don't believe that anyone is inherently ugly. It's all about confidence in the way that you present yourself.
Exactly.
Going back to it, you don't want to compliment. You don't want to be like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, because suddenly you are below them in terms of value. Now, you think they are beautiful, you think they're stunning, and even if you do think that, which you obviously should, if you speak to them, you do not want to let them know. And another thing is you want to make this person, whether it's a girl, like I said, whether it's the boss, think that you've got loads of other options.
Keep this mentality, right, when you're approaching a girl. You're the fucking prize, not them.
That's it.
They might have a vagina, great, smooth, silky walls, warm.
But you have an asshole.
Done, video over. You provide so much value. Right.
No, you are the prize. That's fucking good. I agree with that. That's what we're talking about, and that's what young men are fucking struggle with.
The thing is, stop thinking so much with your dick. And it's so easily done when you're a bit drunk and you get beer goggles and you're a bit horny, it's 2 a.m, you see the nice girls, and then you let your guard down, so to speak. So you start throwing out the compliments, you start trying to insinuate, let's go back. But all that is doing is putting digging yourself deeper into that hole, of devalue, of low value, should we say. You
seem desperate, yeah. And that's not saying that you shouldn't go out because you feel like you want to fucking smash or you're horny or blah, 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 blah. It's just saying don't come to anyone, whoever it is, from a place of scarcity. Come to them from a place of abundance. So like Alex did the other night, which is really, really good, me and Alex have been going out quite a bit, is when, for example, he met someone and he was like, oh, I've got to go in a minute, or I've only got 5 minutes, but and it puts a time constraint on it, so it means that you've got something better to do other than speaking to this girl.
But also, and this is a bit of a tangent, it puts them at ease. They know you're not going to be bothering them for the next half an hour. You've got to go. Please just, if you're going to remember anything, remember this part. Go in with the mindset of, you're the prize.
You are the fucking prize!
I'm the fucking prize,
You're the
baby.
champ! I'm the prize,
I'm
he's
the
the
champ.
prize. Literally, yeah, there's countless fucking girls. There's unlimited girls, and we live by this notion that, especially as guys, that you get so caught up on chasing like one girl or one person, for example. Yeah, tunnel fucking vision. That you forget about all the others that exist.
There are literally millions of girls. There are literally millions of girls who are compatible with you. And this one girl in this one club at this one night is just...
Takeaway point, you're the prize.
Mindset of abundance, not scarcity. Don't get caught up in rejection. Don't get caught up in that one girl. There are literally, I promise you, you're young, mate. You're in your prime. There's millions of girls compatible with you.
When you meet people, when you go into these encounters with people, do not have high expectations, be prepared for rejection. I think being prepared for rejection, or not being like, oh yeah, this person is going to do this for me, it sets you up in the mindset to be like, okay, I don't give a fuck.
Let's say I'm the girl, right? Mo's the alpha guy out to get his dick wet. Common shit test. Girl comes up to him, oh, I bet you're out here to get laid, aren't you? What do you reply with?
Not that.
Don't stop.
99% of you are gonna 99% of you are gonna do that.
But don't worry.
I was trying like an ugly bitch.
Exactly.
Maybe that was a bit too far.
But basically, you get the idea. And what will generally happen is they'll try to win your approval that way, rather than trying to, which is what a lot of guys make the mistake of, and be like, oh yeah, like you're gorgeous, so let's go back, blah blah blah, let's go and get chicken nuggets. Trying desperately, you're making it obvious what your true motive is.
I think my favourite one is literally like, sorry, what do you think's happening here? You think I want to sleep with you? Like, what's wrong with you, kind of thing. And then suddenly it's like, she's confused and you're pushing her away, and she's going to pull back for your approval and validation and attention. Point number 2, and it might not be as significant as this one, I think value is number 1, is you're going to come across as boring. If you are being this like nice guy, giving everything out, putting all your cards on the table at once, really like kissing ass, there is going to be no challenge for whoever you're interacting with. There's going to be no challenge for the girl. She's going to get bored. People like to be challenged. People like to feel like they've unlocked something or they've earned something with this like dopamine mechanism where you get gratification for doing certain things. If someone's like pushing you away, when you finally get their affection or get their attention or whatever it is you want from them, you will feel good. So it goes to this whole kind of push-pull dynamic where if I try and pull Alex, if I want something from Alex or like I'm trying to like entice him into doing something, he's gonna naturally push away and resist. So number 2 is leading on from that point, don't put all your cards on the table, don't ask lick, don't compliment, don't just fucking be a boring cunt, you know. And people like uniqueness as well. Like if you're unique, it's better to be weird than vanilla and boring.
Exactly.
Like, it is better to be a little bit odd because you're gonna stand out, and the principle of scarcity, appearing different, is an incredibly valuable thing in terms of increasing your value. You know, why is gold rare? Why is diamond rare? Because it's very scarce. So as soon as you appear different from everyone else, you're going to become more valuable, and that's going to increase your perceived value. So agreeableness, number 3.
Well, let me just touch upon that point of no challenge. A great analogy for all the video game nerds out there. You get to the end of the final boss, the final level, you've got all the skills, all the moves, and it's great to play, isn't it? Right. So you give that to a friend, pass the controller to a friend who's never played the game before, but he's on the final mission and he's got everything unlocked. Ask him how that game is. His perception of that is he won't appreciate that as much because he hasn't worked for it by going through the beginning levels. So the same thing applies with no challenge and coming across as boring. You need to kind of, again, keep that pull push mentality in mind. Make them work for your attention by push-pull mentality.
Don't be afraid to par people. Don't be afraid to
say no.
Mildly reject. Don't be agreeable.
This is my point, and to be honest, I struggled with this growing up, under the notion that if you are nice, if you agree with people, if you're a yes man, people are going to reciprocate and you're going to get your way. Yeah, it's programmed into you to agree, to obey. And don't upset the rhythm, don't upset the crowd. How do we combat this? Fairly obvious, be disagreeable. And this is so much easier said than done, because how many times, and I'll give you a real life example. Let's say your boss wants you to do something. They want you to stay behind after work to finish this extra project, but you've made plans with Felicia. You're on a date with Felicia.
Bona Shaniqua.
Eh?
Bona Shaniqua, let's make it a bit more exotic.
Bona Shaniqua.
Bona
Shaniqua.
Oh,
Is that Mexican?
Don't know, it just sounds like some ghetto name.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're gonna want to wear 3 condoms at once and she's gonna suck your dick like.
You're still gonna get an STD.
Super 8 like works its way through.
Super 8.
It's got like a little drill on the front of through the latex carrier anyway.
Bona Shaniqua. I can't say it, bro.
Bona Shaniqua.
Alright, Bona Shaniqua, you go on a date with this fine ass girl. But the boss wants you to stay behind. What do? Do you think you're gonna lose your job? And so, or you're going to upset your relationship with your boss, so what do? Yeah, sure, I'll do it, I'll stay behind. But internally, you're fucking screaming. Internally, you're resentful towards your boss because he's made you skip a date with Bonisha, is it?
Bona Shaniqua.
Bona Shaniqua. Is that a fucking name?
Mate, you're going to fuck this date up if you don't even remember a name.
Shit. Anyway, I don't do dates, man, you know me.
No,
we'll get into a video about that as well.
Well, because they're too lazy, don't need to. That's basically it. Your boss has asked you to do something, you don't have to say yes to it, but you can tell he wants you to do it.
Exactly.
But rather than you're too much of a fucking pussy, because you're a nice guy, rather than saying no to him,
I make plans,
disagreeing, you say yes to do it anyway to please him and keep him fucking happy.
And what's going to happen in the long run? You're going to be internally hating yourself because you lack the, well, we'll get into this later, but the testosterone, the aggressiveness to say, no, I've made plans. And you know what's going to happen if you say no? Well, guess what? In the long run, your boss or whoever this applies to is going to respect you. And
they're going to know that you're not a yes man.
Yeah. Don't be a yes man, basically. Agreeableness, this runs in all factors in life, not just your boss, but your friends, any social situation. it's okay to say no. It's okay to disagree. If you're a yes man, you don't want to be around yes man because you become deluded in your own thoughts. So the way we combat agreeableness is we learn to be uncomfortable in saying no. So basically, say no.
The way I think of it is that when someone asks you to do something, they are asking you. So it's a yes or no answer. If they wanted you to do something, if someone wanted me or needed me to do something, they'd be like, Mo, can you do this? And if I was like, no, they'd probably be like, Mo, I need you to do this. Like, it's not an option. So what's the worst that's going to happen if you say no? Is they're going to really just tell you that you have to do it. And a lot of the time it's like, Alex, can you do this for me? It's optional, you know. So if you don't want to do it, fucking say no, or you're shooting yourself in the foot. And like Alex said, you're going to end up resenting the person. Your work probably isn't going to be as good if it's your boss the following weeks because you're going to wish you went out on this date, but you agreed to do it, and you're gonna seem like it's going to get in your head basically.
Do activities that release testosterone. Go out and chase girls. Guess what? That releases testosterone.
No, please. Go get my testosterone, man.
You'll literally be like, you get my point.
It's like, yeah, so agreeableness. Another thing, as Alex said, agreeableness is linked to low testosterone. The reason for this is everything basically comes down to evolution and how we were in like primitive and caveman times. Having more testosterone is gonna result in you having more muscle mass, you're probably gonna be stronger,
more aggression.
You're probably gonna be more aggressive, which means you're probably gonna be able to protect your mate from rivals, from danger, and you're gonna have a better chance at raising successful offspring. Obviously the purpose of life is to reproduce and pass on your genes. So it all basically comes down to, if I fuck you, what are the chances that one, our children are going to be good, they're not going to be fucked up, they're going to have good fitness, they're going to look good, and they're going to go on to reproduce. Two, are you able to protect my children from a fucking saber-toothed tiger that lives outside in the park to come and try and rip them to pieces? And by having more testosterone, you're more likely to do that. So by appearing agreeable, by having shit posture, by being a fucking little bean sprout, by being a little nice guy who's trying to buy attention and a fucking yes man, you are gonna basically appear like you have the testosterone levels of a fucking 98-year-old woman. Don't be agreeable, don't be afraid to say no. It's gonna benefit you with absolutely everything in the long run. You've got to be selfish to be selfless. You know, one of the things that I've learned in the last few years or the last year that is to be more selfish. You know, you want to help other people, you want to succeed, you want to do better. You do have to put yourself first and basically help yourself and put yourself in a good place and make yourself do well before you can help other people. So I will turn things down, I will be selfish, if a girl wants to come around and I've got other stuff on, I will literally be like, no, you can't come, I've got to work, I've got to do this, fuck off kind of thing. I will put myself first, and it's one of the things that I have really learned, I had installed in me, is be more selfish, man. Be more freaking selfish.
And this will not come overnight. These things, like a skill, they take time, they take trial and error. So don't be disheartened if you fall back into your old habits. Just keep these mental cues in your head.
Push, pull, push pull.
Push, pull. Next.
Oh yeah, next. So this is probably the most powerful tool in your social skills arsenal. It has literally transformed our lives. If you're not doing this, you should really, really consider it and just think about it, regardless of who you're speaking to. You know, and what a neg is, it's a backhanded compliment. So you're not complimenting, but there's like a smidge of compliment, but you're not straight up insulting them whilst insulting, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, we're in a club, Alex's girl, we've been chatting for a little bit, we're standing quite close because it's the music's really loud, some shit like that. Alex is stood like here, I'm like, oh, you got nice hair, but it smells a bit weird. Like, or like, oh, what's that smell? Like, you got nice hair, but
must be the
smells
fragrance.
of it. Or something joking, or being like, oh, that's a really weird fragrance you're wearing.
Exactly.
Or something just like on their appearance, you know, something that's kind of a bit jokey. It's not like really insulting. Oh, you got nice lips, but that's definitely lip filler. Like, it's a bit too much.
Perfect.
That's like on the harsher end of the neg spectrum. But again, like, I always think it's better to insult and never fucking apologize either. They might act offended and they're just testing you. They might, or if they are really offended, then fuck them because they are boring cunts.
Exactly.
Why
No
do you want
sense of
anyone like that in
humour.
your life? Whoever it is, be it your boss, like, I think you can neg like people on the street, your boss, or to make like a little joke or a kind of like backhanded compliment, like I said, where it's not really sure. It just goes back to that push-pull thing.
Agreeableness again, you know, you're showing that you're willing to disagree, you're willing to upset the opinion of others.
Because you have options, and again, it goes full circle back around to value. So you don't care because you're willing to disagree. You don't care if you offend them or if they walk off, because you are a high value person and you are the prize and you have lots of options, and that's because you have something special about you. So it's all of these three interlinked. I know it's been a long video and it's probably been a bit all over the place, but yeah, we haven't scripted these, we've basically just spoken about them from the heart.
Straight off the
And
bat.
that was our take on why nice guys finish last, you know? You wanna be a fucking douchebag! You wanna do shit like this in the club!
I forgot to put my hat
You
backwards.
see a girl in the
Sup,
club,
girl?
you fucking just take your shirt off, and you'd be like, yo, what's good, girl?
Stop being such a fucking
Ah.
nice guy.
See this chest? These tits are probably
Fuck
bigger
yeah.
than yours. Fuck. Douchebag. I've got to use that. I want to use my tits are probably bigger than theirs.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good neg, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? But, oh, your boobs look really nice.
Well, mine are bigger.
But mine are probably bigger. That is a great neg. And on that note, we will end this disgusting misogynistic video that we have created. Thank you, good night.
Love you
Fuck
tits.
off.